Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Crypto Update. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe as well as click on the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. Bitcoin breaks $100,000 amid global trade optimism. Bitcoin has surged past $100,000 buoyed by renewed optimism in global trade relations. Recent developments, including a United States and United Kingdom trade agreement and upcoming US-China talks, have invigorated investor confidence in crypto market. Bitcoin price rose early Wednesday as hopes of a de-escalation in trade tensions between the US and China trade lifted cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin has climbed 4% to $97,000 over the last 24 hours, according to CoinDesk data. Cryptocurrencies tend to suffer in an uncertain economic climate, such as during a trade war, as investors prefer safe haven assets like low-risk bonds and gold. If the US and China starts moving toward a trade deal, that could significantly reduce uncertainty in markets and calm investors' nerves. New Hampshire Governor Kelly Ayotte signed a bill Tuesday allowing the state to invest up to 5% in digital assets and precious metals. It's the first U.S. state to approve a crypto reserve law. The bill only allows investment in digital assets with a market capitalization of over $500 billion, effectively excluding all digital coins but Bitcoin at current prices. Bitcoin has a market value of $1.9 trillion while Ether, the world's second largest crypto, has a market cap of about $220 billion. President Donald Trump's pro-crypto stance has been celebrated by many digital assets enthusiasts. Bitcoin reached a record high of $109,000 in the month following Trump's re-election on hopes that he'd appoint a new head of the Securities and Exchange Commission and create a strategic reserve of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin to hit $1 million by 2028 as US and China deal falters. Arthur Hayes, former CEO of crypto exchange BitMEX, believes Bitcoin is on track to hit $1 million by 2028 and not because of anything the Federal Reserve is doing. According to Hayes, the real driver of liquidity is U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who's managing the country's rising debt burden through a mix of bond buybacks and auction strategies. This increase in dollar liquidity, combined with what Hayes calls America's inability to rein in spending, is what's pushing Bitcoin toward the $1 million mark. But it's not just monetary policy fueling his bullish thesis. Hayes also points to geopolitics, specifically, the tense but theatrical trade relationship between the US and China. As both countries move toward what he calls a surface-level trade agreement, Hayes sees it more as political theater than actual economic reform. Despite the tension, Hayes says China will continue buying US assets. The dependency runs too deep. This means even more money sloshing through the financial system and Bitcoin soaking up the excess. As Bitcoin continues its steady climb beyond $100,000, a much larger force looms on the horizon: sovereign wealth funds. These massive, government-owned investment entities control trillions in global capital and have the potential to reshape Bitcoin's future. According to Skybridge founder, this tidal wave of capital won't materialize until the United States and other major economies establish clear regulatory frameworks for crypto assets. For now, the buying may be happening quietly, on the margins. But if legislation aligns with institutional infrastructure needs custody, clarity, stablecoin laws, and tokenized assets, Scaramucci believes the outcome could be historic, not just institutional adoption, but structural integration of Bitcoin into the global financial system. If even a small percentage of these funds are allocated to Bitcoin, the impact on price and market structure would be profound. As of now, Bitcoin's market capitalization stands at roughly $2.05 trillion, meaning that just a 1% allocation from SWFs could inject $100 to $130 billion into the asset, enough to drive prices into uncharted territory. Scaramucci suggests that when U.S. lawmakers approve a comprehensive crypto legislative framework, it will unlock what he calls large blocks of buying. He envisions a scenario where funds worth tens of trillions of dollars begin making $500 million to $1 billion purchases of Bitcoin. This level of capital movement would have structural consequences. Unlike previous bull runs driven by retail enthusiasm and venture speculation, a sovereign-driven rally would reflect a shift in global financial strategy. Bitcoin would no longer be treated as an alternative asset, it would be recognized as infrastructure akin to gold reserves, U.S. treasuries, or even strategic oil holdings. This is all for today. Thank you for watching.